What's up, guys? It's Justin Parnell back with another episode of Journey of Discovery here, our free-to-play MTG Arena series, and today we are going to be playing a competitive Guilds of Ravnica draft. I want to thank everybody for watching, and thank you for your support. You can always subscribe to this channel by clicking that subscribe button. Also, leave a like and a comment if you don't mind. If you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify, as well as here on YouTube. And if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. All right, so before we get going, the first thing we always want to do is re-roll these quests for free-to-play, of course. It's more important, that even that little bit of 250 gold, that we always want to do that. Of course, we hit another 50, and that's fine, but we're going to go right into the draft. And we have gems saved up. We have 2250 gems. This is going to cost us 1500. We're going to be able to get another draft if we can get 2 wins out of this. So let's go ahead and get in. So looking at this pack, Artful Takedown is obviously a premium removal spell that we have. In addition to Artful Takedown, the Affectionate Indrik is great. This essentially is a 4/4 for 6 that kills one of our opponent's creatures. Outside of that, honestly, there's not many other cards that I'm super interested in taking. I think Murmuring Mystic is fine. I think it's slightly worse than both of these cards, but it's probably one of these 3 cards in the pack. Obviously, this is best in an Izzet deck where you're spell heavy. The Indrik is fine in any green deck, and obviously this is going to push us towards Dimir. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, as Dimir is obviously very strong. So it's kind of just choose your destiny, and I think I want to go with the artful takedown, even though it pushes us into 2 colors immediately. But I'm fine doing that in this case. I do think Golgari Finebreaker is also good, but the color requirements are tough, and it's not something I'm looking to get into immediately. So this is probably the most powerful card if you're already in Golgari, but it's rough to just take this and get started with it. So Artful Takedown it is. Okay, so here we have another Artful Takedown, a Watcher in the Mist, Whispering Snitch, which I like, but it's worse than these 2. I think I'm just going to go with my second Artful Takedown and just be happy that we have so much removal early in the draft, even though Watcher in the Mist is very good. We're not really passing anything too great in this pack. Okay, we can continue on with our blue-black cards, as Thought Erasure is very, very good. Actually, this is a very good pack too. Crawl, Harpooner, Thought Erasure, Capture Sphere, Muse Drake, Deadweight, all very good. And maybe we can get lucky and have one of those come back. It is, I don't want to say impossible. It's not impossible for that to happen. But these are, since so many cards are in this pack are very good that are both blue and black. It's not crazy. Maybe we take the Deadweight and the Thought Erasure comes back, since it's 2 colors. Maybe that's more likely. I do quite like this card, but this is just removal. I think I'm going to take Deadweight. We'll keep on with our removal train. Okay, so here we have a Muse Drake as the likely pick. I actually don't mind Dowser of Lights. It's 5 toughness is kind of the right amount. This is not a card I'm looking to pick early, so Muse Drake it is. Also notable Swarm Guildmage, which is a powerful card. Okay, here we have Sinister Sabotage, which we're just going to take. It's cancel, but I like having some cancels. Don't care for Vicious Rumors. I do like Devious Cover-Up. That's kind of a one-of, but... Okay, here we have... We're still short on creatures, but that's okay. We can find some of those. Sudden Disappearance is very good, so we'll take that. Necrotic Wound is fine, but obviously being so short on creatures makes that difficult. Ooh, Enhanced Surveillance. I actually want to try this card. I don't know how how great it is. Let's see. We only have 2 Surveil at the time. We're either kind of doing this or the Mesmerist or the Dimir Locket, and I'm not. The Locket is fine, but I don't think we're passing up anything too great. If this doesn't end up working out, then that's okay. We do need to take some creatures, so we'll take this Mesmerist here, even though I think the best card in the pack is the Guildgate. We will take Child of Night, so that's a little better on defense. Now we'll take the... I don't want like Bloodmark Painter. I actually want to take the Ceratok. The Veiled Shade's pretty bad. Alright, there's the Thought Erasure that came back, so we'll take that. Oh, we have an Undercity Necrolist and the aforementioned Dowser of Lights. I'm going to take the Dowser of Lights because we're likely going to have not that many creatures to sacrifice to this. None of these are that great. I guess if we end up in splashing green, that's going to be better. We'll take the Locket and then the Never Happened, which is fine. I'm going to move these green cards to the sideboard. And everything else here we're decently enough likely to play. Oh man, what a payoff, Narcomoeba. We have a handful of options for this pack. The card that jumps out to me is Whisper Agent. I quite like Whisper Agent. Thoughtbound Phantasm is also very good. So is Pilfering Imp. I think this card is just slightly better than both of those cards. This card obviously needs some work. We have 3 ways to surveil. 1, 2, 3. We're obviously going to pick up some more. But this does the surveilling, so we'll go ahead and get a Whisper Agent. Okay. Alright, so this one is between Discovery and Dispersal and Notion Rain. I actually like Discovery Dispersal more. In Limited, you're going to look at the Dispersal card at a higher clip. So this is also a great one for a collection just in general. Alright. Not a ton here. I'm actually pretty likely just to take this Guildgate and then just give us a shot at splashing. The most likely card for our deck is the Spinal Centipede, so not passing anything up too good. We'll just take the Guildgate. Alright, here we have another Sinister Sabotage, although, man, we have two strong other uncommons that are both better than Sinister Sabotage. Now, this is the Indrik would be solid, but of course we have to be able to splash it for green, but I think it's actually worth taking and trying to find that green splash. Okay. Here I actually like the Mephitic Vapors, so I'm going to be taking that one. This is a fun card to main deck. Okay. Here we have a Notion Rain, which I'm happy to take. I like both of these cards, but I like Notion Rain a little bit more. Okay, here is a Golgari Guildgate, which we definitely want. And here there is nothing for us. There's literally nothing for us. I guess we'll take this Wall of Mist as a potential sideboard card, but not excited about it. Here I actually like Pilfering Imp. I think this card is pretty good. We don't want 2 of the Surveillance. We'll take another Child of Night. Nothing for us here. We'll take the uncommon for our collection. Ooh, another Golgari Guildgate. That's perfect. Nothing for us here. We'll take the uncommon for our collection. This is a creature we could potentially cast, and this is a creature we could potentially cast. Okay, so let's go through and move all these to the sideboard. Actually pretty happy with our deck so far. Okay. Alright, so here we actually have a card that we don't have in our collection that I would want in my collection, which is Defending Clarion. And we really only have 2 cards that we would be taking over it, and both of which are just fine. In Darkblade Agent and Sinister Sabotage, so I'm actually going to be taking this Deafening Clarion. This is kind of one of the things with free-to-play. You have to take your shots when you get them, because this is just going to be a wild card otherwise. And fortunately, we're not passing up something that's going to have significant impact on our drafts. They're not bombs, just kind of tool cards that we want. So, we'll just happily take the Clarion and move on with our life. Okay, here we have the choice of 3 cards, Plague Crafter, Hired Poisoner, and Notion Rain. I like Plague Crafter, especially when we have a lot of ways to kind of control the board, dead weight, disappearance, a couple of artful takedowns, the Indrik, which it's looking more and more likely that we're going to be able to play. But for curve purposes, you can't always play it on 3. So I think I'm just going to take the Notion Rain to try to get us to the end of the game. We're probably going to have to pick up another Dowser of Lights to actually end the game. I do like Hired Poisoner too, but I'll take Notion Rain. Okay. Here is a Molder Hulk, which is not something we're going to be able to play. Disdainful Stroke is probably the best card. I think I'm going to take that. It's either that or actually, I think we're going to need to take this Golgari Guildgate and maybe play this Ceratok. Yeah, that's. I think that's the most likely thing since we're running short on creatures. Okay. Alright, so here we actually have a lot of options here. We have Disdainful Stroke, we have Burglar Rats. All of those are worse than, all of those are better than the Spinal Centipede, and then of course the Dowser of Lights, which is not good, but it is sizable. It lets us end the game in short order. However, I really like Burglar Rats. I think this card is great. It's good for us to play on curve on 2, so I'm going to take that. Okay, here we have Dowser of Lights, Devious Covered Up, Hired Poisoner. I think, man, I think I'm going to take this Hired Poisoner. I have talked about Devious Cover Up. And let me see how many creatures we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures. Let me go ahead and put this Ceratok in here for 9 creatures. No, I'm going to take the Devious Cover Up. I like having one of these. Alright, here's another Burglar Rat, which is actually great. I'll take that. Burglar Rat's very, very good. Here is a Centipede, which I think for curve purposes we would rather have than the Child of Night. We have an extra 3 waiting. Here we'll just take the Guildgate for fixing. We don't have a ton of creatures for the Krell Swarm. So even though the Swarm is a decently powerful card, well, I don't know. We are kind of getting more creatures here. And if we draw one of these later, that could be somewhat of a finisher. I'll take the Swarm actually. Nothing really notable here. We're not going to play any of these. Let's play this. We'll take this radical idea, I guess. We'll take the Sprouting Renewal for our collection. None of these we're going to play. I'm not going to play the Golgari Raiders. We're not going to play the Locket. We'll take this for our collection. Here's another Dowser of Lights, which is actually a good late pickup for us. Alright. More Dowser of Lights. More likely to play big green stuff than small green stuff. And then there's a card. Okay. So, deck is at 44. Let's take out the cards that we're definitely not going to be working with. Not going to play that many Dowser of Lights. 14 creatures as it currently stands. I think we can get down to 12 and be okay. We definitely want to... I'd rather play more Child of Nights than the Mesmerists. And we have a few creatures that die to the Vapors, which is okay. These are mostly going to be for trading, so we can come in with these big ones later. I would rather play the Dowser than the Vigor Spore Worm. I actually like this Ceratok. How many cards do we have? 41, 42 cards. Let's see. $13. So we could potentially cut one more creature. I think we're gonna cut the Ceratok and then cut a Forest, and we just splash for the Idric. So plus one more island. Since we have black sources here, we definitely want more black. 41 cards. Let me cut this enhanced surveillance. We're surveilling here, 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 here. We're surveilling quite a bit. What are we getting to with our surveillance? There's this do nothing. Yeah, I kind of want to move it. The more I think about it, the less interested I am. I'm going to make this our picture to really confuse ourselves. Oh wait, look at this radical idea we don't want. Okay, Pilfering Imp we want, Deadweight we want, Burglar Rats we want, Child of Nights are fine, Unexplained Disappearance we want, Thought Erasure we want, Spinal Centipede we want, Whisper Agent we want, Sinister Sabotage we want, Vapors we want, Notion Rain we want, Drake, Cover Up, take down our first two picks of the draft. Dowser, Crawl Swarm, Discovery, Indric. This is 40. Make sure there's not anything that we're forgetting in our board. Does not look like it. Okay. 40 cards. Curve is fine. Let's go with this. Alright. Game 1 and match 1. This hand is very solid. We have all of our colors and some Muse Drake to draw and some removal. So we're definitely going to keep. Alright. We'll lead with our Guildgate. And not have to worry about green mana for the rest of the game. Barrier of Bones. Alright. It was actually a good draw for us. We can fight past the Barrier of Bones. We want to get Muse Drake down before we attack in case they try to kill this. Blood Operative. That's a good one. It is a good one. We're going to deadweight the Blood Operative. Other than to play the Drake. We'll go fighting. I think we're going to play the Swarm next turn. Okay, 1-3, that's fine. Now we could bounce this, but I'd rather just keep this and say okay. Our opponent's down to 1 card in their hand, so take to the skies. They can't get back their Blood Operative, which is annoying. Blood Operative would have been great in this deck. Well, I'm sure it's great in like every single deck that it's in. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and get this Muse Drake out. Okay, so we can put our opponent to 8. We actually might be able to clock our opponent and not have them gain life from Blood Operative. That's assuming they don't have any removal spells. Yeah, next turn we're going to put our opponent to 8. They're going to play Blood Operative this turn, supposedly. Okay, there's our Blood Operative. Alright, no blocks. Oh wait. We can just block here. We'll block 1. Okay, so I think I want to bounce Blood Operative this turn. I'm going to attack down to 8. And then try to come up with 1 more point of damage. This will let us get a little bit closer. Island is gone. Ooh, Pilfering Imp was perfect. 8. And we'll put the Imp in play. This means we can take 1 hit from Blood Operative and still crack back for the win. And they can remove stuff, which is totally fine. No blocks. Okay, we're gonna go all in here. And then they can go to 5. And we can hit them back unless they kill the Swarm. In which case we will have to, yeah, do a little work. No need. Okay, game 2 looks like they have a lot of stuff on the ground. Blood Operative is kind of a pain, but there's honestly not really anything we can do with it. We're gonna stick with what we got. All right, match 1, game 2. All of our colors. We have a fine curve. We'll keep. Probably should have sided out the Vapors with their so many high toughness creatures our opponents have. Notion Rain's a good pickup. I guess we'll play this Child of Night. I think I should have considered sideboarding a little bit more. They have a lot of ways where this is going to struggle to get through. No bugs. Plague Crafter, okay. I'm happy to have them do that on our Child of Night. Our opponent has 2 cards, so he can likely get one of them. I want to play a land, which means that this is going to be not great by the time we can cast it. So, well, no, we'll keep both of those. We don't have a 4-drop, we have 5 drops, so. Okay. Let's see what you got. Hypothesizzle and Severed Strands. Well, we'll take the Hypothesizzle. I think that card has higher upside. We'll put the tapped land over here than the rest. And we'll pass the turn. Midnight Reaper. That's a good one. Tax. We're going to bounce this Midnight Reaper. Since we're going to be playing not the Pilfering Imp. We're going to put that over here. We're going to play a Dowser of Lights. Now if they draw a land and can play both of those, that would be great for them. I imagine they're not going to be able to. Then we will follow up with the Swarm and then another Dowser of Lights. Because they can make the Severed Strands play now. Nope. I'm going to go with Midnight Reaper. Okay. Well, I'm just going to get in here. And play another Dowser, which I imagine they're going to have to Severed Strands. I guess I should have taken that instead of the Hypothesizzle. Just left them with that in their hand. Especially with two cards that were 5 toughness on my side. Okay. Oh, Burglar Rats is a great draw. So I can go Burglar Rats, make them discard whatever they drew, and then play the Dowser of Lights. Okay, well we have a random amount of cards, even though we're at 5. Can we stabilize? Is the question. Blood Operative. Okay. Well, we got Burglar Rats to lock this down. And then we're going to play our Swarm to try to fight them in the air. Muse Drake's a good draw. No attacks. You just gotta get them to brick for a little while. So they have a Surveil card. Alright. We'll bite. Failed Shade. Okay, nothing else. We'll continue our Air Assault. Alright, And we will pass the turn. I don't know if our opponent can do anything. They can pump 2 times? Okay, well, we'll block with our Dowser of Lights. They're trying to draw into something else? Could be. Dead weight on the Swarm? Yep. Artful Takedown's a good one. Okay. I'm going to attack with the Dowser, especially since we have an Artful Takedown. We can double block here if need be. And we'll pass the turn. Definitely shouldn't have taken out this Vapors. We have the smaller creatures by far. Alright, playing land so we can discard and get this back at the same turn. Okay, so we're on 6, so we should be able to Artful Takedown and get them next turn. We're just going to tap here. We're just going to tap. We don't want them to draw into something, even at the cost of a life. Great. Good job, us. Alright, game 1 of match 2. Very keepable hand. We don't have any blue yet, but we do have a Burglar Rats on 2, and we love all Ratty Boys, so... Alright, our opponent flowering. Okay. Nice curve, Ratty Boy into Whisper Agent. Picking up a dead weight, which is great. We're still going to play our Ratty Boy now. Bounty of Might was your discard. I mean, maybe they don't have the cards to cast it, but holy crap. Talk about a card that will just beat you. Well, looks like this is going to be useful here. We'll play the Whisper Agent next turn. We'll attack with our Rat. And we'll play our Imp. I quite like Pilfering Imp. It does a good job. Does a good job at what it does. We're going to skip it this turn to play the Whisper Agent at the end of our opponent's turn, though. We'll just get in for 1. It's a nice flyer, too. Underrealm Lich, you say? Okay. Oh. I sort of find an island. That's not an island. Alright, well that's an Artful Takedown. We can hit them for 4 one time. So let's put them to 17. Nah, let's attack for 1. So what I really want to do is kind of get our opponent into a situation where they're making it indestructible, like in combat with this Whisper Agent, and then kill it with the Artful Takedown. Okay, they put Hatchery Spider in their graveyard. What is this deck? We have our work cut out for us, it looks like. Prey Pawn with the Imp. Okay, they must have something good in their hand then. Kill Mage is good. They're going to start making 2/2s next turn. Oh, man. Alright. In the event we could have cast that, that would have been great. But we cannot. Can't even cast this Dowser of Light. This one's going to be tough. I feel like we actually have the tools to beat this Lich. But not the lands to play them. Some pretty powerful cards they put into their graveyard there. No blocks. Man, that's a powerful one too. Burglar Rat, which we'll play. Pack's Favor. I'm glad they pitched that one. That would get us for sure. Alright. This one's going to be impossible to come back from. Although a Dowser of Light does block all of these things. We want to go down to 6. We will for now. Okay. I don't think we can come back from this, so in the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and concede. Okay, so things we don't want. I don't think we want these Vapors. Their cards seem to be pretty sizable. 4 power creatures seems good. They have a handful of those. Let's see. That might be it. We're good with all the rest. Child of Night is a little underwhelming. That's more to sure up the early game. Maybe Wall of Mist, since they have a lot of 4 power creatures instead of one of the Child of Nights. I don't think there's anything else we're going to want. Okay, Triple Swamp. Actually, considering our hand, I'm going to mulligan. Alright. We get a Scry, and we have a removal spell, so I'm actually happier with this one. That's not a blue land, so we'll put that on the bottom. Now, our opponent has a lot of powerful cards in their deck. There's an island. There's a target for our Deadweight. Next turn, because we're going to Notion Rain this turn on curve. Ooh. We're going to bend the Sinister Sabotage, but we're going to keep the Notion Rain. Next turn we can go Notion Rain, Deadweight. Definitely will do that. Muse Drake and Dowser. Actually want both of those. We start playing large creatures. We're at 13, then we're at 11 next turn. Okay, we'll play the Dowser. This is the biggest thing. If we draw a land, we'll probably do Burglar Rat and the Muse Drake, vice versa. If not, we'll play the Swarm. Okay, we did. So, Muse Drake here. Our opponent passed with 5 cards in hand, so something is up. So we'll just walk into it. No. Okay. We'll play this rat. Oh, ratty boy. They have something. Oh, the Lich? Yeah, of course. Alright. I'll put a clock on us. For sure. Wish we could Devious cover up this Lich. Oh, we'll attack with the Dowser. Let's see. I think I would rather hold these two. We'll go down. This can block. I think that's going to give us the best chance being able to surveil here. Because we want to be able to put the Swarm in front of them when... in front of the Underrealm Lich when they're lower on life. Okay, maybe they'll tag with everything. Okay. Well, we cannot block. So we'll take it and go to 5. And if they don't bite on casting anything... Okay. We will cover this up. We're going to put in Muse Drake and Deadweight. That's it. We probably should have shuffled nothing in. Actually, let's decline, because we need an Artful Takedown. Specifically need an Artful Takedown. Nope, cannot cast that. It's going to the bin. Thought Erasure, well, it's actually not the worst. It lets us see what's going on, and we can still cast our Swarm. Alright, we'll take this stupid Hatchery Spider. Ooh, Discovery Dispersal is actually nice. This bounces the Lich. So we will keep that, in fact. Let's see if we can clock our opponent here. Okay. They basically get 3 cards to see if they can come up with a removal spell for the Swarm. And if they cannot, we get to steal this game. Which would have been unfathomable. Maybe they don't have it. It took them a second to try to find it. Okay. Well, we're going to block here. Okay, 4. Okay, go to 5. Okay. I'll attack with all. Put them to 1. And we're going to bounce it back to their hand. Attack. Resolve. Okay. Return Underrealm Lich to your hand. Now they have to play out 2 blockers, or we can poke through this last point of damage with our Ratty Boy. You got 2? Don't play the other card. Play the Lich back. Play the Lich. Yes. Alright, we stole that one. That was literal theft. Okay, so what do we want here? Tempted to have the Never Happened. I think we're going to take the Ceratok out for another Dowser of Lights. And stick with what we have here. Yep. Alright, our hand is quite slow, but we do have a lot of notable cards for our deck. And Muse Drake is a great one, so we'll keep. Start with this flower every time. Okay, so we have either lands or things that are cheaper than these cards. So, looks like lands it is. 1 Golgari Gilgate and then we can stop. But not right now. I'd rather draw something on that I can play on turn 3. Okay, alright. So the deck did not listen, but at least, I swear if our opponent just plays an Underrealm Lich on turn 4. Of course. Alright. Artful Takedown. Man, deck is not very good at listening. Now we have 2 ways to just kill this Lich. Just straight up kill it. Should we have mulliganed for a way to kill their 1 card? My vote is no. But clearly, if they were going to have it every game, maybe it should have been yes. Maybe they have multiple. Maybe they have 2. Maybe they have 3. Who knows? What I do know is they're going to hit us for 4. They're green-white featuring Underrealm Lich deck. Yeah, that's a powerful card. I feel good to have taken a game from this deck, to be honest. I'll play Dowser Lights. I imagine they're going to attack through this, but at least I'll make them do it, I guess. I'll make it a 3-3. Maybe they won't, so I can just block with Dowser of Lights. Alright, I'll bite. I have another one in my hand, so do your worst. Oh, do you have Dead Weight? Is that what you have? Prey Upon? Okay, sure. That's fine. That's a fine trade. Basically cast Snuff Out. Even though you didn't have a black to pay the alternate casting cost. Snuff Out on a black creature with no swamps. Okay. Well, we're going to play the other Dowser of Lights. I'm going to get real affectionate next turn. Which one, though? Probably this one. It makes 2/2s. That's way more annoying. You can tap all other 3 creatures just to get through? That seems excessive. Okay. I'll double block. And if they have a trick, I'm gonna concede. Yeah, I'm fine trading my Dowser for the rest of combat. Well, we found the thing we're gonna smack now. Pilfering Imp. And then the Idric. So this is gonna send one of these idiots to the air. Yeah, we'll fight. We will attack with our Muse Drake now. Discovering Dispersal really needs to find us an Artful Takedown. Like, very quickly. I feel like we've earned it. We'll block here to conserve some lives. It's gonna only give it trample, right? Yep. Okay, down to 12. Idric with fight, which smacks our Drake. Okay. Nope. Pilfering Imp? Alright. And that last card in their hand must be good. Okay. Notion Rain. So, we have 2 shots. No, we don't. This lets us see 1 less card than Notion Rain. Okay, we'll do Notion Rain then. Unexplained Disappearance is good, but we're looking for specifically Artful Takedown. Alright, here's our other 4/5. Not attack. Alright, so we have 1 more shot with Discovery and Dispersal to find it. Our opponent drew really quickly that turn. Either they had 2 lands. No, of course not. Of course not. Alright, we're going to take 8 and go to 2. Thought Erasure. Alright, first thing is we need to find our removal spell. Alright, there's an Artful Takedown. And we can cast this Child of Night. Alright, we're going to stop on our opponent's upkeep. Play this Guild Gate. Alright, we're going to stop on our opponent's upkeep. And we're going to tap the Indrik. Yeah, we'll attack with the Muse Drake this turn. Okay. This is if you would draw a card. Okay, so we're going to do both of these. Choose a creature to tap. Indrik. Creature get -2, -4. Lich. Okay. Well, that only took the whole game. So, there's that. And we're completely out of gas. We need to draw the card that's in our graveyard. We've gone through all 3 of our Dowser of Lights. It's going to be tough for us to actually reduce our opponent's life total appropriately. We really just want to do this thought erasure for the Surveil. Okay, we'll take this Hatchery Spider. We're going to bend the rats. We're going to pass the turn. Our opponent gets to make a 2/2 knight. Man. The fact that we have survived this well, honestly, is impressive. Alright, alright. Good game. You got us. You got us. You got us, opponent. Alright. Match 3, game 1, we're on the play. And this is not a great hand for us. Obviously, we do have one of our best cards in Artful Takedown, but the lack of black mana and 2 lands on the play is not exactly where we want to play. This hand is significantly better. Obviously, we have 3 great cards we're going to be able to cast, and then one of the best cards in our deck, if we can find a green mana. Sinister Sabotage we're going to put on the bottom, just because we do want to make sure we can hit our 3rd land, even though it is a very high likelihood with Discovery Dispersal and Child of Night here. And there it is. So in that case, we're just going to play Child of Night into Notion Rain. Especially being on the play. If our opponent wants to trade with it, then that's fine, and they don't. Okay, so now we're going to play Whisper Agent so we can kind of keep the pressure up. Sure. Well, Lucy gained the 2 life as lifelink. Little 3-color action, so they, much like our last opponent, I'm sure they have some sort of great splash card. Okay, so here, well, we want to keep the Guild Gate for our Indrik, so. Gate and Notion Rain. There's not really a scenario where we don't play this Guild Gate, so I went ahead and played it. I don't think we want another one. I think our opponent has 5 in hand, so I am gonna keep the Imp, which I quite like. Untap land, which is exactly what we want. Opponent's not going to be blocking with their Generous Stray. Another Notion Rain, which is great. So let's go ahead and Notion Rain since we have an island here. I'm going to bend this island and keep the dead weight. Okay, great. I'm tempted to deadweight here and continue attacking, making the Peacekeeper quite ineffective. I actually think I'm going to do that. And then we'll play our Guildgate and be able to take care of whatever play they have on our following turn. Oh, perfect. That's definitely one we're interested in taking out. Alright, our opponent getting aggressive somewhat. Let's go ahead and fight their charger. Okay, feel pretty good. This is probably the most damage that we've done over the course of all of these games with non-flying creatures. Our draw hasn't really lined up since we decided to keep the Pilfering Imp with being able to play it on curve, but as long as our opponent has a couple cards in hand, it's still often very good. Opponent gains 1, plays a Healer's Hawk. Interesting. Well, we'll take down the Generous Stray. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and cast Discovery. Yep. Get some card selection here. And we're going to bend both of these. Well, we have 2 left. Yeah, we're going to bend both of these and try to find something a little bit bigger. If our opponent wants to trade 4/4s, then they can. I'm totally fine with that. Looks like they do, I would imagine. Yep. And our Centipede. Okay. I am going to try to snatch something with this, the Imp. And then we're going to hope to start to draw. Okay. That's good clock. No blocks. It's Vigilance too. Alright. We can crack back with these. And the first thing we're going to do is try to snatch something out of our opponent's hand. Especially since our Imp just got invalidated pretty hard. It's like March of the Multitudes. What do you think of that? This is going to be tough to race. It's going to be very tough to race. March of the Multitudes, eh? That could have been real bad. That could have been real bad. So we need a... That'll work. Unexplained disappearance. I'll bend this island. Not interested in trading. Because if this dies, I'd rather put the 1/1 counter on the Child of Night. So. This is a good time for us to start to draw some of our removal spells, which we have not really drawn outside of these two. We have a few more. We don't have to contend with that March of the Multitude, so that's going to be good to know for next game. Definitely going to keep in our Vapors. Okay, that's a good card too. There is an Artful Takedown we can push through for 8 damage. I imagine that... I think what I want to do is just attack and then try to shrink this down for us to be able to kill it in combat, so... Yep, still going to make the same play with the Child of Night just because it's an easy block for them with their Generous Stray. Okay. Tap a creature, shrink a creature. Tap this, shrink this. So they do trade, but that's better than us just biting the dust. Auto Tapper failed me a little bit on that one. Still no blocks. I think our opponent's going to gain 4 here. Oh, that's quite a lot. Quite a lot. Oh, Dowser of Lights is good. No attacks. Our opponent's essentially now just trying to get through with the Healer's Hawks. We have a few flyers in our deck, which we could certainly draw. And now we need to draw, because this is going to be troublesome. Devious Cover Up right on time. We could fight here, but our opponent has good blocks, so... We're going to wait 1 turn and then be forced to attack with our Child of Night. Impinging Monument. I mean, at this point, we have to counter any creature. Let's put back the Artful Takedown, the Indrik, and that is all. Yep, we'll shuffle those back in. Gives a slightly higher chance of drawing one of those. Vapors, okay. Not exactly what we wanted here. Yep. This at least puts us to a life total where we don't lose the game. Right now, anyway. And we have to come up with something, some sort of removal spell. A takedown won't even do it. Sinister Sabotage also not going to do it. We don't want to show them this for sure, so we're just going to concede. They have gained too much life. Too much life. We've certainly dealt them 20 damage, but 20 damage was not good enough. It seems like they can invalidate these Child of Nights pretty solidly. I think I want another Dowser. And I think this radical idea to kind of get us back here to the late game a little bit quicker. So let's give that a shot. Okay, this is actually a solid hand. We don't have blue, but we do have cards we're going to be able to play early, so we'll keep this. And we have one of our guild gates. We go ahead and play our rat. This card is great all the time, all ratty boy. He's great in the beginning, just for curve. He's good at the end when our opponent's only holding a couple of cards in their hand. He's great against a creature that blocks it all day. No attacks. Peacemaker yet again. We have our swarm. And this time, I'm not super interested in putting a 1/1 counter on a 1/1. So we're going to just pass the turn. And hopefully draw some blue the next couple of turns. Okay, so our opponent is certainly trying to splash something red. Something worthwhile, I would imagine. Something we're probably going to want a removal spell or a counter spell for. So, let's hope we can get one of those online before they can get their bomb online. Whatever it might be. Healer's Hawk, I am interested in deadweighting. For a number of reasons. One, they're clearly interested in suiting it up. Two, it very easily blocks our swarm. And three, Healer's Hawk is just fantastic. Our opponent may have something. Oh, they're going to March of the Multitudes. Right on time when we can't Devious cover up. Okay. You got it. Well. Let's get in with our swarm. In the turn. We're going to hope our opponent cannot beat this swarm. It looks like this is going to be our path to victory. That's fine. Just here? Interesting. Okay, and no blocks. Let's tap and minus. We're going to tap here and minus here. And that way we can attack fairly freely with our centipede. They can't block and sacrifice this turn, so they'd have to block and basically lose a draw. I would just take 3 if I were them, but okay, yeah, that's what they decided to do. Really would love another blue. I feel like we're in a very good position. Okay, that's fine. Does not interact with our swarm. We are going to block here because the more life link they're hitting us for, the more turns they're taking off. Okay. Let's see if we can find another blue. Okay, we're definitely putting the swamp down, but I think we're going to leave the Dowser on top because we can cast it this turn, so... So, 3-turn clock is what we're looking at right now. And I'll feel like we've locked this game up once we hit another blue. 1 counterspell should be enough to stop them from being able to interact with the swarm. Okay. That's another turn, unfortunately. They cannot get through on the ground, however, so... doubly so now. Okay, drawing a card. They still have not gotten their... whatever their bomb is. They're definitely digging for it, though. Really want this blue, so I can just feel way more comfortable. Alright, well there's a Notion Rain, which will probably get us to a blue, and not be able to let us have this Devious Cover-Up up. We're gonna bin both of those. Alright. Do not let this be the turn that they cast the thing we need to counter. Alright. That's another turn that we must attack. Though, we can play this Muse Drake. I'll attack first. So, alright. Back to a 1-turn clock. Vapors is good, it does kill our friend, though. I'll play on the Guild Gate. And end the turn. Okay. They can get another turn by attacking with their lifelink creature. I would assume they're just going to attack with everything. However, if they attack with everything, it doesn't buy them a turn because we can block with our Spinal Centipede, give one of our creatures +1. All right, and that was the thing we needed to counter particularly, and yeah, this is their gaining of 1 life. Okay, well that's not bad. I think I'm gonna attack with Muse Drake for 1. I'm going to attack with Muse Drake for 1. And if they block, then I'll smack with the Indrik. Okay. Yeah, we'll fight. Alright. Where is the other blue? Okay, there it is. Just here. And should be able to hold up this Devious Cover-Up for whatever... Okay, good game. I don't think there's anything we really want. Never Happened is just too narrow. It's just significantly worse than Thought Erasure, and Pilfering Emma, we already have plenty of those effects. I liked the deck that we had this time. Dowser of Lights actually matches up really well against them. They have 4/4s, so 4/5 is actually very nice. We're gonna roll with this. The Vigor Spore Worm they can just block and trade with because, like we said, they have 4/4s. So, yep, we're gonna keep this. Okay, on the draw, this is actually a solid hand. We have all of our colors, so we will keep. We can stifle some early aggression. If they don't have it, we can just Discovery Dispersal immediately, try to set up some land draws for the next several turns. Which we will go ahead and do. And we are gonna keep both of these. The order does not matter much, but we'll keep this... Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to get both of them on our next turn, so... This is going to be a good game for the Vapors, I feel like. Just because our creatures are big. Peacemaker? Okay. There is the Notion Rain, which we're not going to cast because we would have to discard. So we're going to play the Guildgate. And we're going to go ahead and deadweight the Peacemaker. And we'll get the rest of it with the Vapors at a later turn. Let's go ahead and Notion Rain now. I think I'm okay with both of those. Yep, we're gonna draw both of those. We have our 5th land for our Dowser. Take 2, go to 19. Okay, so that's going to be a creature we're going to want to go ahead and take out, only because it's stupid mentor creature. And we'll pass the turn. We don't even want them to get 1 attack in with this. Combat. Tap minus... Okay. Tap a creature minus a creature. In retrospect, we should have tapped this. Because if they had a pump spell to save this, we want this to get a counter, as odd as that seems, because Vapor is going to take this out. Vapor's not going to take this out, so that was a small mistake, but... Doesn't look like it's going to cost us too much. Another Peacemaker. Okay, probably a good time for us to Dowser. Especially now with a second one. And just gum up the ground as much as we can. Oh, that's a good card. Okay, so I want to Notion Rain and Artful Takedown. And I especially want to tap Notion Rain like this. It's a little greedy. It's like asking that we hit a land, which we don't. But we want to get this Muse Drake, so we'll bend this. And we don't, so we're just going to play this Spinal Friend here. And we can't attack because we can block one of these 2 creatures. We're going to take 6, though. So that's fun. That's great fun. We are going to Artful take down the rock next turn. There's a land we were looking for last turn. We're going to, during their... We'll wait before they go to combat. And pass the turn. That's good. I feel like this is the game they have their red bomb in their hand. And we just don't know what it is yet. Rampaging Monument is surely fine. Okay, they're in combat. Hit both of these. We are going to tap. Here and minus here. Okay. You can attack. You choose not to. I don't blame you. Okay, Sinister Sabotage. So we can... No. Hold up. Sinister Sabotage. Fairly good draw. If we can avoid this getting to be a 4/4, then we'll be in pretty good shape. Be able to fight a 3/3. So that means they're likely going to grow it once this turn, of course. Is usually how that works. Okay. Urban Utopia, this is when you cast a multicolored spell. Yep. So they only have 3 mana, so low chance they cast one, which would be great for us. Okay, that's fine too. They're going up the ground here. Unexplained Disappearance. We don't quite have enough lands to be able to hold that up along with the Idric, but this is definitely something we want to take out, so... Let's peck away with our Muse Drake. At some point they are going to have this March of the Multitudes. I would like to draw a land. And that is a card we certainly would have wanted to counter. At least we can bounce it during their turn and counter it on the way back down, which we're going to do. So we'll pass here. And we're going to wait. We're going to try to cast the Sinister Sabotage first. We will put in... I think we're going to put it on the bottom yet. Or in the graveyard, rather. No blocks. And if it comes back down, like I said, we are just going to Sinister Sabotage it. We will need to draw a land, which of course we just put one on the bottom with our... we actually don't want this Whisper Agent. It's just going to be impossible for us to break through on the ground. Obviously we did just put a land on the bottom, but yeah, I was pretty confident we were going to draw one, so... We'll play our other Dowser and pass the turn. And at this point, we just need to draw the Swarm. I'm going to hold this other Dowser in my hand and probably any other creatures that's not bigger than theirs. So we can continue to buy back our Crawl Swarm. I mean, that's annoying, but... It's another creature that can't get past our creatures, so it's not that big of a deal. We're going to go ahead and pitch this swamp. Switch it out. Of course, we get another land, but we will not play that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to make us discard a card anyway, so we'll just pass. March of the Multitudes will certainly let resolve anything that's going to interact with flying creatures or put a greater clock on us. That's a pretty good one. Deals 1 damage to each creature. I cannot block this very well. Not only can I not block it, it's going to make sure they can attack with their 4/4s and then trade with our Dowser of Lights. Ugh. Let's put back the Discovery Dispersal. And I think that's it. Only because that card can actually get us closer to our Crawl Swarm. Which we did not draw, so we keep going to town with this Muse Drake. Wood Shaper. Got a Healer's Hawk. We can just trade back and forth and we don't really get anywhere except we take 1. So that will not work. It's not going to work for us. I really wanted them to have, like, March of the Multitudes that turn. I feel like they're going to suit up their Hawk. Which would be very inconvenient for us. Okay. They're going to make their Hawk a 2/2. Alright. That's also very inconvenient. I'll block here. Alright. There's a Pilfering Imp where we can double block the Hawk. No attack. Ah. We found it. We found their red bomb. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. Man. God, they've just gained so much life. An outrageous amount of life. Now, what could they be getting? Now, really, this is going to be a... This is trouble. This is a troublesome card. Yeah, I mean, we have to double block. $41, you say? Okay. All right, right on time. This one's going to be tough. Aurelia is going to be very difficult to defeat. Even just as a 4/5 flying vigilance creature. The trample's largely irrelevant. She can't mentor anything quite good enough. Okay, so we can get Aurelia right now. Which I'm going to try to do. It comes at the expense of our Vapors. Okay. Aurelia would not bounce because they'd bounce a lock. God, they bounce this Venerated Lockstone, which we don't want. So we're gonna discover and see what we can find. See what we can discover. Thought Erasure and Island. Those are no good. Burglar Rats. Well, I'd rather rebuy this card multiple times, so we'll pass the turn. We have 3 cards left in our deck also, so it's going to be about the same amount of time that we die from Aurelia than we die from our library. We're going to keep plugging away. We're going to keep plugging away. Just here for this turn. Play one of the Dowser of Lights. Tapping all of our islands. Just so you know we have nothing. Again, that's always on the player, not not anything else. Peacemaker, how kind of you. We're gonna go in with both of these. See, it kind of double blocks our opponents. Goes up nothing. It's smart. Play a rat so we can at least block somewhat. With 1 card left in our deck. I mean, I guess I'm glad that Aurelia has decided to not get in herself. But what's the point? Yep. Looks like we're not going to be able to pull this one out. Obviously, our opponent's at 29. Good game. All right. So we fell short of even getting 2 wins, which was quite disappointing. Of course, you can't go back and look at your deck. I thought our deck was good. Not nearly as good as our second round opponent's deck, our Underrealm Lich. But either way, picked up a couple of good cards for the collection. But disappointing. Again, I feel like the draft was better than maybe my play. But that's part of it. That's why you do these competitive drafts, is to get better at the formats. Gilded Ravnica, for some reason, I haven't been able to get enough of a hold on that I feel comfortable in it. So we'll keep plugging away and try next time. Thank you guys very much for watching this journey of discovery. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and leave a comment and a like. Let me know what you think I could have done differently in this draft or in the games. If you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify, and of course here on YouTube. And if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG. But that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time.